Welcome to another series of the Apostles' Teaching.
From the perspective of the spirit realm, before you start your ministry, heaven already knows whether you have failed. So when people come to Takra Day to set up a tower for God, they get cameras and they broadcast on Facebook. I am so and so, the senior prophet of. The man wants to broadcast to the entire land. Meanwhile, he has not met with the authority that governs the territory. The mileage that Jesus was going to cover in ministry was going to be occasioned by the outcome of his visit to the territorial landlord. Jesus said, how can a man enter into a strong man's house? And this statement, he was speaking in parables, making reference to Satan. That he has an intention to spoil the goods of the strong man, namely men that are held in captivity to the wiles of darkness. He said the first thing to do is not to go and start spoiling the things in the strong man's house. We set up our structures to broadcast so that the things under the strong man's power, we can release them. Jesus said there is something that comes before that. You will need to bind the strong man. I attended a faith Bible college, faith-based, a faith-colored Bible college. Everything was faith, where we believed that nothing was impossible, and that we believed we had intercontinental ballistic missiles that was capable of taking over 2 cities. We were told lofty things, great things, high things, and we're just looking for the opportunity to invade. When we got to the field, we are still looking for some of the people we went with, because it's obvious the head count is not complete. We're not told that at some point, because if you don't wait to meet with a strong man and you go on, at some point he will meet with you. Jesus came to the testing grounds before Satan appeared. Jesus was not coming there to pray and fast. He was coming there to be tempted. It was him that decided that the way of praying and fasting would be the most strategic way to approach this situation. Most of us did not prepare long term for ministry. You are supposed to have accumulated prayer and fasting prayer for years. If you know that is the purpose that you are called to execute, and you didn't lay any foundation for it, it's just like marriage. People get married and they want to become naked and run on the beach in Sun City in South Africa. They are not aware that Satan will come. So Satan arrives the ground of testing before they arrive, and they are hoping that they will defeat a spirit being that you encounter unprepared. He will change your channel. So Jesus says, no microphone, no PA system, no power amplifier. Let us go and look for this trouble man. Let's find him. How did Jesus find him? Because Jesus was man. Are you there? Satan was still spirit. Are you following? The arrangement was not proper. Where is the location where you will find this spirit being? You know what? The moment you begin to pray and fast, you don't need to find him. He will locate you. He will trace you. He will come. I remember when I was posted to Lagos, I was still working and doing ministry. My wife got angry that he wanted to do 3 days spiritual exercise, fasting. On the 3rd day of her fast, somebody came through the wall and visited her in the room and said, Madam Sarah said you should stop this, your prayer, and went back through the wall. My wife is still here. Madam Sarah, we didn't know who she was. We had never sent her an invitation to our house, but she began to send emissaries into our bedroom. I mean, it was our bedroom that that messenger came up. So she now called me and said, it's only when there's trouble that our wives call us. If they drive a car out and the car dies, they'll call you and say, come and take your car. The moment you begin to pray, he will come. So if you want the devil's address, the address is called prayer. Prayer, and you will need to defeat him. Your defeat of him in the closet, you will repeat in your ministry in the public. Because you have been able to bind the strong man, you will spoil his goods. If you know how long we have been preparing for this meeting, we have fulfilled what it takes to spoil his goods. You know what people normally see is when we come like this, what goes down. What goes down, people don't know. I just finished a campaign. 5 nations, or 6 nations, 16 cities, 33 sessions of preaching. That's what people see. They'll see me in Cardiff, see me in Manchester. Hey, they say, Kai, ministry is good. Come along. You have not knocked down the beast of Takrade. You want to go to London. I'm telling you by experience, the atmosphere here is 100 times better than the atmosphere in London. You will just discover that you are falling sick because of the weight of spiritual density over the location. You want to go and spoil goods, and you have not yet booked an appointment to meet with a strong man. Satan will come to a man of prayer. Temptation will be built around the life of a man of prayer. You'll be tested along the points of temptation. When you conquer along the points of temptation, then the power over nations will be given unto you. We had a small auditorium. I was teaching. I mean, spirit-inspired teaching. You must have heard some of my old sermons. So I used to preach them. But we did not grow. We were 250. That was how the hall was 250 and we were 250. Not to talk of whether the finances that was coming was enough to take care of the fuel. Let's not talk about that today. A time came when all of hell broke loose. I thought I was in the will of God. I thought I was in the plan of God. So why is it that I'm a victim of temptations, a victim of trials or pressures? A man that chooses the route of prayer has already accepted to meet with a strong man. I don't know why you canceled your appointment with a strong man. That's why your days of visibility have been prolonged. You have absconded from the altar of prayer. That's why your days of visibility have been prolonged. Because before any man enters into the city, he will first enter into the wilderness. So Jesus came before the tempter. He went in search of the tempter, got to the wilderness, set up a prayer altar, and the tempter came to look for him. So that's the first reason why he had to be tempted. He had to contend with a strong man of nations. His ministry was the outcome of that battle. That's first reason. Second reason why he had to be tempted was because he came after the order of Adam. And the first Adam was tempted along 3 points. And Adam succumbed to temptation. And the purpose that God had with Adam was truncated. So now that he had come as the last Adam, he has to be tempted along the same 3 points. He is passing the tests that were captured in that temptation that will qualify him to fulfill the role that the first Adam lost out from. You see, the work of God is full of patterns. The same thing that the person that you were called to replace, the same thing he experienced, you are going to experience it. Many of us don't even know where to look. That's why you are confused. You don't know the shape of the battle that has been designed for you because you have no knowledge of the kind of labor that took place before you showed up. You thought, okay, that ministry started with you. I did a diligent study of the people that have been the shepherds over my city. I'm talking about the chief, the major shepherds over my city. I did a study of their lives. I saw the patterns of the points of temptation. Temptation are measured in what? It's the same points that will come to you. The first point is the point of immorality. My city is a riverine city, and the symptom that you find around riverine cities is a high level of promiscuity because sexual spirits operate from the water. You may not believe me, and I'm not even, don't believe. You know, some of these things I say is from experience. There's a high density of sexual inducing spirits in those territories. So if you are going to pass the test on that point, you need to tell yourself some truth and go to God to find the grace to survive that kind of test. Because the same patterns of tests that came to Adam were the same patterns of tests that came to Jesus. 3 points. And for Jesus, it was 3 points. If I have time tomorrow, I'll just give you an idea of the points. The same points. The same points. It was many years later that my eyes opened. I remember those 3 ladies on campus. The failure of ministry in that city is traceable to those 3 ladies. The whole city, just 3. You see, the agents of darkness know the reason why they were sent. Do you know what it means to have a sent mentality? Do you know what it means? Oh, you are not with me. You are not with me. A sent mentality. They tell them, this preacher, that preacher, this preacher are the problems we have. So they know who they are fighting before it is too long. When you have a sent mentality, even if the place looks like a fortified city, you begin to see the weaknesses of the arrangement, because you are moving with a sent mentality. Those people know the objective. They know they are sent. Someone that is sent can afford to suffer a while just to gain the advantage that is needed for him to be properly placed to fulfill his mission. And that was how that lady was able to gain her position as the secretary of that man. It took a sent mentality to achieve that. That means, are you there? If you have a sent mentality and you know what you are called to accomplish, you are likely to reject a job that will take you away from the circumference of your mission emphasis. That one has more pay, it has more pleasure, it has more possibility. But because you have a set mentality, you camp around the assignment to find an opportunity. I came to tell you that Satan is planning against you. Satan. And the only way you will survive him is that you must have a plan yourself. So those 3 ladies had the dossier of the possible ministers of the future that will become a potential threat to the kingdom of darkness. And they were deployed early on before the people became popular. Oh, I remember. I was not first 12 on our campus. When they say people are anointed, they won't count me. That's what I'm saying. The real anointed people, oh Jesus Christ. There was one of them, he was a king of dry fasting. He goes 21 days dry like a hobby. He was the one that taught me how to fast. That God did not give him power gifts, but I have it in my spirit. So if I do a little fasting, power will come out. He was the king of dry fasting. Somebody offended him and he fasted dry and cursed the person. The impact was more than using camel padlock to lock an iron door. I was not among the strong. Oh, my area of grace then, that is if they will count me at all, was scripture. I was a man of scripture those days, but there were strong men. There were strong men that could pick things from the realm of the spirit. Before we knew it, we didn't see them again, because of the points of testing. We were not careful to check our ancestors, why they did not break into lamplight. For 5 years this lady followed me. I got a job, went to another city. She traced my office in Abuja. That was when I knew that she had another instrument with which to track. It wasn't Google. I came to tell you they are looking for you. I came to tell you.
The instruction of the Lord is perfect, renewing one's life. The testimony of the Lord is trustworthy, making the inexperienced wise.